crazy. They don't never come outside. We outside.
Nothing in the something. No handouts, I don't need nothing. Nothing in the something. No matter what, I'm 10 toes down to the shit. They praying on my fall, ain't no way that I'ma quit. I'm coming for it all, I don't wanna have to pick. I want it, I'ma get it. And if I have to bet, I get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Get it out the mud, turning nothing into sun. I put on that big love, no handouts, I don't need nothing. I had to be alone just to see how much I've grown. Don't gotta hit my phone, cause I can get it on my own. Yeah, I'm off the scene right now, on a mission, so the moon is back on my screen right now. Do not disturb, oh you believe in me now. Where were you when I was down? Now you wanna come around, it's hard to face it, but I'm good. Trust me, I'm living, me and my coalition want it.
I'm just about unifying, man. It's a beautiful thing to see us all come together. See the 19th, the blood, the Crips, and everybody come together.
Nothing in the something. No handouts, I don't need nothing. Nothing in the something. No matter what, I'm 10 toes down to the shit. They praying on my fall, ain't no way that I'ma quit. I'm coming for it all, I don't wanna have to pick. I want it, I'ma get it. And if I have to bet, I get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Get it out the mud, turning nothing into sun. I'm good on that big love, no handouts, I don't need nothing. I had to be alone just to see how much I've grown. Don't gotta hit my phone, cause I can get it on my own. Yeah, I'm off the scene right now, on a mission, so the moon is back on my screen right now. You know
that's what I'm saying, PAL. That's where the boxing goes, nigga.
I'm good, bro. What's poppin' with you,
I like
man?
the way you.
Ken came in here late. I'm late. I know you're probably saying, yo, that nigga ain't coming. Somebody said that nigga ain't coming. How many of y'all went to work on time? Y'all don't be going to work on time? I'm a little late. And guess what? All I need is one person in the chat. Because if one person can get the information and buy them some property, then you know what? The job was done. Because I know if I get 100 people in the chat, 100 of y'all ain't going to be buying no goddamn houses. I'm going to eat your life. Motherfucker be smoking on live. I'm eating on live. Fuck all that. You already know Philly in the building. Look, Philly in the building. Philly clap. Doc, salute. You're gonna fire that? Yeah, fuck it. Fire me. I'm late. I would love to see y'all attendance at work. How late y'all be? Because I'm sure half of y'all be there late all the goddamn time. So stop it. Yeah, man, I'm just waiting for the brother to pull up. Once he pull up, then we could go. Top shots. You said I want you to buy me a PS5. OG Blue. Assalamu alaikum to my brother. A salute to the panel. OG Blue in the building. Hit that like button. You know OG Blue in the building. Yo, Blue, we got to do something, man. Yo, Blue, man, you know we supposed to went to the mall that day and all that. You bullshitted, Blue. We supposed to went to the mall and did our content and all that. Mm-hmm. Big back. Definitely. Got to be your own boss. Got to be your own boss. That's the only way you're going to get it done. Good thing I'm tired of saying I got to go to work. I hate that shit. I be hating to say I got to go to work. Let's do it for somebody else. Then you think about how much that company be making. The fuck out of here. Nope. Nope. Listen, look. Hold on. I promise you, that's my last bite. That's food good as a motherfucker. That salad good as a motherfucker. Let me tell you something. I was working for this company, right? Company ain't here no more, so I can talk about it. They ain't here no more. I work for this company. The company was making over, no exaggeration, over $80 million a year. I thought that was a motherfucker just sitting there looking in the window at me through the window. The company was making over $80 million a year. $80 million a year. This company. Easy. That was light work. I pull up in the company. Everybody in there is making so much damn money. It wasn't the same as the pay grade that was on what I was supposed to be getting paid. It wasn't the same as the pay grade that we all supposed to be making. I said, what the? How do people making so much money up in here? What the hell are they doing? They put me in. This how you look. This is what you do. Motherfucker was pulling over 150,000 to 200,000 a year, right? As fast as the money was coming, it was going. I don't know what I was doing with it, what happened, but that money was coming. And then they sold the whole fucking company. They got rid of it. They sold the whole company. I wish that goddamn company was still here today, because that was the best company in America. That was the best company for me, because I used to be the one doing the hiring. I used to be the one that was doing the hiring. You wanted a job? Come down here. Come down to the office over here. Tell them you're looking for me. I'm going to pull right up. I was killing them, man. Everybody I put in on the job, yo, listen, this is what you got to do. You got to do that. This is your job. They love me. Yo, if you go downtown right now, if anybody was to go downtown with me right now to Midtown Manhattan, 42nd Street, 34th Street, all in that Midtown area, y'all will see the love I get. You're going to be like, oh, yo, they be showing love to 10 Toes. Like, yo, they know you are 10 Toes. Nope. They know me from getting them the job. And they all still work down there, but they work for a different company. I said all that to say this, that when I got up every morning, I never felt like I was working for nobody. I felt I was working for myself, because it all depended on what I did that day or how much money I would make. There wasn't no set pay to where I'm gonna get this much. They're gonna take taxes out on this and this and that. Nope. It was all about what I do when I go in there, how much money I can make. I can make $2,000 a day. I can make $1,500. Depends on how long I want to stay there, how many hours I want to do. If I get too tired, if I want to call somebody else in, or if I need somebody to go and hit a ticket. That was the best job, man. Shit. I felt so good. Yo, I used to go to the homeless people downtown in Midtown. I had some homeless people. There's some homeless people that want to work, but the majority of them don't want to work. They don't want to do shit. They want to sit out there with the cup and just beg. I'm telling you, this is firsthand experience. Homeless in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, I was given all of them jobs. A lot of them, no, I'm good, bro. I don't need no job. I don't need no job. I said, you don't need no ID or nothing. You don't need the social security number. No, I mean, you need social security. You don't need no ID or nothing. I'm going to hire you. And you're going to get money. You ain't even got to sit out here with a cup. Instead of sitting out here with a cup, you can sit out here with a sign. And that sign is going to be in the name of 10 Toes Down. This is all you got to do, bro. A lot of them didn't work. But it was this one brother that was working. When he got paid, that motherfucker found his business to find me. He went all through Midtown looking for me. He wanted to show me, yo, look, bro. Look how much I made. I got a check. This is my first check ever. Keep it going, brother. 2 weeks later, the motherfucker was back to being homeless on the corner begging for a cup. I said, what the fuck was going on? He was comfortable where he was at. He was comfortable in his position. He was comfortable. And a lot of us grow comfortable. And that's the problem. We get comfortable. And that's what it was with a lot of them guys out there now that be on this YouTube thing. They went to prison and they got comfortable. They was in jail comfortable. When I supposed to have been the comfortable one in there, they was in there comfortable. They was dirt. They was bums. All of them. Name them. Name any one of them. They didn't get no visits. If you got 2 visits a year, that was good for them. 3 visits a year was good for them. Their family wasn't sending them money. They was sneak thieving, robbing dudes' lockers. They was raping dudes' lockers. They was up north bumming it up. And I was in there with an account that was overbalanced. Yeah. I'm waiting for the brother Mark to pull up. We could talk this real estate thing, man. We're going to talk about this real estate thing. I know I came late. God, I am later than late. What it was that I was out there doing an interview. I was in Newark, New Jersey doing an interview. And when I put that up, you're going to see where I was at that day. I was in Newark, New Jersey doing an interview. Newark is fucking... What's that? It's an area in Newark that is twisted. You don't hear what I'm telling you? Ain't no way in the world you're going to be the mayor, the governor, and all that. And that area where I was in, with them goddamn, them houses, them buildings, them projects, was cemented up. In New York, they have boarded the windows up. Over there, their windows is cemented up. They got bricks in the windows, cemented up. Shit done grew tumbleweeds and all kind of shit in there. I'm like, damn. No, I never sold a ticket to a tourist. I never sold a ticket to a tourist. Not me. No, I would have had you out there selling tickets to a tourist. Yep. You would have been out there working for me, selling tickets to tourists. And it was good money. The Africans be killing it. The Africans that I was hiring and all the brothers and sisters I was hiring, they was killing it on them tickets, bro. They was killing it. I never sold no ticket for no damn bus company. I couldn't do it. I wasn't saying out there ticket, what they call that shit? I forgot. Top of the Rock, sightseeing and all that other shit. Nah. See, I'm not gonna tell you what I was doing with the tickets and how I was getting the money because I don't know if dudes is out there still doing it. Ain't no illegal shit, nothing. This was what the company was letting you do. You was allowed to do this in the company. What? They sold that company for $300+ million. What? They sold that company for $300+ million. Man, shit. And I'm looking for the brother to pull up. I guess maybe because I'm too goddamn late. Anybody on point? Now look, y'all. Look. Y'all see how I got here late? I was on the phone with somebody just now, another fellow YouTuber. Shout out to you, brother. You know who you are. And we was kicking it, and that even helped me up more to come on a live. But that just shows you how much I was trying to give my attention to that brother when I had hundreds of other brothers on hold. It's just, yo, guys. No. Dub Bloods, NYBBA. The Africans been the ones in there running that and far selling tickets. The boats in the Statue of Liberty shit and all that, they've been the ones that was out there running all that. I hired all them Africans. I'm the one bringing them Africans in there. What? Bring them Africans in there. Crazy. Africans down there, no 10. You know, them Africans don't even call me 10. They call me boss. Yeah, you can't sleep on them dude with them red coats. And that's the problem with black people and African people. African Americans and Africans. The African American people had a problem when I came to them telling them, yo, you want to sell tickets? You want to work down here? Boom, I'll get you a spot. Sell tickets? What, I got to stand out there all day in the cold selling tickets? You stood out there all day in the cold selling crack cocaine. How you can't stand out here in the cold and sell tickets? Do you know how much money you're going to get with selling a ticket? You know how much money you make? You know how much money you make a week selling tickets? How much money I'm going to pay you? I'm gonna get you paid. I'm not paying you directly, not me. How much I'm going to company get for you? Them Africans, this what they was doing. Look, they was taking their money, right? You know, it'd be 100 of them in one apartment. They was taking their money and they was buying minivans. Minivans. You hear what I'm saying? Used minivans. And they was sending them shits back to Africa. Starting cab services. So you spend $3,000, $2,500 the lowest, $5,000 the most for a minivan. Minivans is cheap. Used minivans. All you need is a good mechanic to make sure it run good. That's it. As long as it got seats in it. You buy you a fleet of minivans, send them shits to Africa. You can do that right now. Send them to Africa, but you're going to need a connect in Africa. Somebody's going to help you. Send them to Africa. You're going to have to pay money to get them shits off them ports. Africa, DR, wherever. Sell them wherever. Send them wherever. One of them countries. But you have to have somebody to get them off them damn ports. Once you get your car there, turn them shits into cabs. And that's what the Africans was doing. And guess what? It was an African brother that was working with me, right? He built a big ass house down in Ghana. A fucking mansion. His fucking house is a mansion. All this rapper mansions, he got a mansion down there in Ghana. He built a whole mansion. He got his taxi service going on. And guess what he did every year? He came back to America and he was down there selling them tickets. Them motherfuckers don't give up. I don't care what you say about them Africans. They don't give up. Them, the Chinese, the Mexicans, they don't give up. And that's what we failed at as black people, African American. I guess it's in our DNA that we done worked for so many years for free as slaves that we ain't even trying to work for the lowest of the dollar. We like, you have to pay me $1,000 a day to wash dishes. I'm not walking in no washing no dishes like I'm a Mexican. And the Mexicans gonna have a whole Mexican Cuchi Frito taco store and stand and living it up. Yep. It's like the Jews do. The Jews got the welfare system on lock. What? Look at him think them Jews are stupid. When you think of welfare, you be thinking of black people Nope. Jews got that goddamn welfare on smash. They be on stores and all kind of shit. And they put their wives out there and make them go right on goddamn welfare. They be right down there at that welfare office with all 7 of them kids. They got the curly fries. They down there. Yeah, go down to the welfare office. You're gonna see a whole bunch of curly fries right down there with the Freddie Cougar hats on. They're gonna be there with the Freddie Cougar hats with the curly fries. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones you're gonna see down there. You don't see the other ones with the regular with the cookie. They be having the fucking curly fries and the Freddie Cougar hat on. Chinese in Sunset Park. Wow. Again, they like that's a fact. 11 a.m. in the park. Big difference is that they're organized. Yep. New York Dollar Van. Yo, hold on. New York Dollar Van. Let me put this up in here. Them Chinese is in Sunset Park live gambling. They be doing that Chinese. I don't know what that Chinese did. Them little domino things they be having. They are dead in there gambling. They out there gambling in the park. Straight up. You can't say nothing to them because you don't even know what the fuck they saying, what they doing. Black people come up, black cop come over there to a Chinese gambler. What you gonna say? You don't even know what the hell they saying, what they talking about, what they playing. They all gonna say they don't speak English. They down there gambling. He said, 10, what's your thoughts on Swiss? SSRIS. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what SS, capital S, SRIS. What is that? Enlighten me, please. Enlighten me. Meds? What kind of meds? I gotta look that up. SSRIS. I never heard of that. SSRIS. Yeah, no peguei inglês. Não peguei inglês. S. Selective inhibitors. Use to treat depression, anxiety, and other psychological conditions. Oh, okay. That's meds. Used to treat depression, anxiety, and other psychological conditions. I don't believe in meds. I don't believe in taking medications. Nope. I put Excedrin and Tylenol that for headaches. When it comes to psychological shit, where you talking about I'm having an anxiety attack and I'm taking medication, nah, I doubt I'm not doing it. I got anxiety. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna catch an anxiety and deal with that shit. I'm gonna catch an anxiety attack and sit there and deal with it and just be going through the cuckoo bird shit, thinking I'm dying and my heart racing and my heart about to stop and I'm dead and all that in closed areas. Nah, I'm not gonna tell you to not take it. The next thing you know, you jump from the 85th floor and then they blame me. 10 toes down told a guy on live YouTube, don't take your meds. And he jumped off the 87th floor. Nope. You deal with it the way you're going to deal with it. I'm just telling you how I deal with it. Me, I'm not taking no meds. When I was gone, they be like, you having anxiety attacks? Yeah, I can't sleep. And I be having panic attacks. I be jumping up and I just be running and I be scared. My heart be racing and I be feeling like I'm about to die. And then and they said, well, we got medication you can take. That's the first answer you gonna give me? Ain't nothing else? Like no therapy, like mental, someone could talk it out. Huh? I want to give you medication. Medication. I don't want no medication. I told the doctor I believe the best medication is self-medication, meaning that I work through it on my own by myself. You put that thing right on your head. Come here, puppy. You want to get on YouTube so bad. My son want to come on live so bad with daddy, right? But you're not ready for YouTube yet.
No, I want a channel.
Huh?
I want a channel.
I'll get you a channel, but not right now. When you're ready to get the channel, Pop. Go to random mood swings for no reason. And I don't want to take that. Okay, so random mood swings. Well, somebody said they go through random mood swings. You got any advice for them? I'm asking the psychological doctor over here. You got any advice for them? Yeah, they go through random mood swings. What you would advise them to do? Days or night? I don't know. Just say day. Throughout the day. Any advice?
Mood swings?
I said that 2 times already. I said mood swings 2 times already. And you keep saying it. Go ahead. You think they should take the medication because they want to give them medication? You think medication will be good for them?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. So
no,
what should
medication should be the last option if you
should be the last option.
Natural way to handle it and deal with
So
it.
what would you advise? That's my question to you. You scared because this YouTube? You can talk.
No.
Anybody but a dead body in here can talk. Go ahead.
I don't know how to manage it.
How can it be?
Yo, Poppy, pop. Go over there. This ain't party time. Go over there, Munchkin.
I don't know, but medication is.
They want me to take Prozac.
What?
Prozac.
Is that even legal still?
Yeah, he just said Prozac. I guess it is.
Nah.
Well,
Prozac creates different other shit. So if you trying to get rid of mood swings, Prozac gonna make you have something else.
I'm not taking nothing because the first thing I'm gonna do is I want to know the side effects of what I'm having. Now they got all kind of medication out there that I could take medication because my tooth hurt, and next thing you know, I'm shitting on myself. Yo, he in the building. I got the brother in the building. Marc Giles, where you at, brother? Brother.
Cancellation.
Yo, Mark.
Stereo audio.
Okay, he can't hear me, y'all.
I can't hear.
He can't hear me?
It's all the way up.
He can't hear me. I don't know what's going on here. But
Getty microphone. Oh man, automatic adjust mic volume. I want the real tech work.
You can't hear nothing?
Testing.
We can hear you.
All right, let's take this mic out.
But he can't hear us. That's when you know you dealing with an old head. You know you dealing with an old. He on live going testing and all. Let me try to figure this out. I'll take the audio out. Put it in. Okay, the laptop. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
And we can hear you too. Okay, Mark. How you doing, brother?
All right, glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a little technical difficulty, but we
got it together, right?
All right. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so introduce yourself, brother.
Okay, so yeah, got it together, ready to go.
Let's go. Okay, something just happened right there.
All right, back. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, brother.
All right, I hear you loud and clear. All right, so basically I've been doing
memory card in. Okay, go ahead.
All
Introduce yourself.
I'm hearing a delay, but it's all good. I've been lending mortgages for 20 years now, working in the Bronx, Westchester, Long Island, the New York area, as well as Connecticut and New Jersey, so the whole tri-state area. And so I help a lot of different people in our community who want to achieve the home ownership, get their generational wealth, helping people develop generational wealth. I've been doing this 20 years. I've seen people who I've helped from day one to achieve their financial goals and actually leave money to their children and set themselves up so they can leave money to their family, their children. So it's been an exciting run. Any particular questions that you might have that you need me to address?
Okay, so my first question to you is this, right? Let's just say I'll have a credit score of 500, but I make 90,000 a year. I want to get a home. I owe a lot of credit cards and
Right.
I'm in debt, but I want to get me a house. My rent that I pay now is $2,100. What you can do for me? Oh, what's the delay? Okay.
Okay, 2,100. All right. So what you would want to do ideally is to get your credit score higher. Yeah, I hear a delay. I do hear a delay. Okay. So you want to definitely get your credit score higher, and we want to address the issue. Why is the score 500? And so ideally, we can lend you money even if you have a 500 score. We can still lend you money to buy a house. You're probably going to need a larger down payment, maybe as much as 10% down. But the challenge is sometimes that the reason why you have the 500 score, it could be the challenge. So that might be a bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession. Some of these things can supersede the fact that the score is 500. So if you have a bankruptcy or foreclosure, there are some dead stops, but it's not the end of the world. A bankruptcy would take you, I think, 3 years before we'd be able to make money to buy the house. Foreclosure is only 2 years. So what you would want to do is work on getting your credit score higher. And I personally would work with you to get your credit score higher. To really just analyze your situation and give you pointers on what you need to do to get your credit score higher. I personally
Hold on, Mark. Your sound is going, it's like it's going high and low. I don't know what you got hooked up to it or what you have in your computer, but it's going like up and down.
I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, your I don't know what you got on that end.
Okay. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and use the computer camera. It's not going to be as high quality, but let's see if that works better.
He gone. All right, so okay, hold on. Wait till he come back, Doc, and then you ask the question. But yeah, if anybody got a question in reference to I guess with your credit or purchasing a home, even getting an apartment. If you want to get an apartment and you've been trying to get an apartment, you can ask him. Oh, cut off the YouTube. Okay, wait till he come back. Oh, because maybe he looking at himself on YouTube. Y'all be having all the answers for this shit. Y'all be having all the answers. A motherfucker don't know what to do on here. y'all be knowing the answer. Like, how the hell the damn channel keep going in and out? It's an echo in the back. Tell him to first check his Wi-Fi, and y'all be knowing the answers to all this shit. Mark.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm hearing a echo on top.
So let me ask you something. Are you looking at YouTube?
Yes, I can close that down.
All right, close that down. Take that off of there.
Ah, that's better. Wonderful.
You see now, right?
Totally, yes. You can hear me now,
Somebody,
right?
hold on, who said it? Let me see. Oh,
yeah.
Static Truth. Thank you, Static Truth. Static Truth said
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So somebody in the chat had a question. They said, what's the minimum score he needs to reach? How much higher does he need to raise his credit score?
All right. If you want to, what the score is directly proportional to the interest rate that you're going to receive. So the reason you want a higher score is so that you can get a better interest rate, which will give you a lower payment. So ideally, you want a credit score to be competitive, to be 640 or higher. If you have a 640 score or higher, you're going to get a mortgage. Now, if you really want the premium mortgage, you want your scores to be 720 or higher. But there's an FHA loan where we don't really, the score doesn't necessarily impact your interest rate. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get this FHA loan and it won't impact your interest rate negatively. So 640 is ideal. If you're down at 580, we can still do it. As you know, we have lenders that we work with. Now, I work with a mortgage brokerage. I'm a mortgage loan originator. The company I work with is Arlington Financial. I've been doing mortgages for 20 years. I worked as a manager for Wells Fargo Home Mortgage in their mortgage division for 4 years. I owned my own mortgage company for 11 years, a mortgage brokerage called Overnight Funding. And we help tons of people out in the hood. 90% of my customers, 95% are Black and Hispanic, come from all over the world, Africa, Asia, India. And, because we're in the Bronx, that's where that great population is. And we do a lot of work up in Westchester, which is a very diverse community, and also up into Connecticut. So
they got a question. What is FHA?
FHA is in America, there are only two entities that pretty much rule the entire mortgage industry. That would be Fannie Mae and Freddie Mack. What they do is they buy the loans from all of the lenders who make the loans. So Chase, Citibank, Bank of America, all of these banks out here to give you mortgages. As soon as you go to the table to get the keys to your house and they lend you this money, they sell that loan to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac rule the industry because they buy the majority of the loans. Now, FHA was started because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would only buy loans with people who were putting down 20%. So the government, the U.S. government, started this organization called FHA. Now, they don't buy loans and they're not a lender. What they do is they insure loans for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And the reason they insure the loans is because they want to make home ownership more available to everybody else. So they'll allow FHA will go to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and say, hey, listen, if any of your lenders that you buy these loans from want to lend people money, lend people loans with as little as 3.5% down, then we will insure the loan for the lender. So God forbid, if Johnny buys a house and he puts down 3%, so he buys a house for, let's say, $300,000, he puts down $9,000. Well, actually, it's 3.5. So there'd be $10,500 he puts down. So God forbid something goes wrong, Johnny loses his job, he can't pay. FHA will bail out the lender, not Johnny. Then FHA will go to Johnny and work out a deal. Say, hey, either A, we're going to take the house back because you can't pay, or we'll do a forbearance, or we'll work something out with you, Johnny. But we want you to continue to have home ownership. So FHA's job is to help people who don't have a lot of cash to be able to buy houses. Hope that wasn't too complicated, but try to make it simple. Does that make sense?
Definitely, Mark. Let me ask you a question. Bville, B-Ville, show your face real quick, B-Ville, before you come up. I know you, brother, but just pull it. All right. I'm going to pull another brother up.
Okay.
That's brother B-Ville. So, FHA.
Yes.
Fannie Mae. And what's the other one?
And Freddie Mack.
And Freddie Mac.
Yeah, they rule the industry. Yes.
Who are they, though? Like, who are they?
They are government. They're like half owned by the government and half privately owned, right? So in truth, they're agencies created by the government. And the reason these agencies was created by the government is because they want home ownership to exist. So I'm going to give you an example. Like if you go down to the Dominican Republic, right? And you want to buy a house, they're going to ask you for like, if you buy a $300,000 house, they're going to want like 50% down minimum, right? They're going to, or maybe even more if you can even get the loan. So if you're buying a $400,000 house in the Dominican Republic or anywhere around the world, Jamaica, Africa, usually these banks are very conservative and they're afraid that you might not pay. And if you don't pay, they want to take that house and have enough room to resell it and make back their money, plus a little profit. So they're going to ask
Mr. Get Giles a question?
Absolutely, yes.
When you name the price of those houses in the markets that are there, and what is the average interest rate on the total cost of the house
today?
Yes, today, right now.
About 7.25%, depending on what it can vary. I'm going to give you a range between, let's say, 8% and 7.25%. And the reason I'm giving you a range is because if your credit score is lower, you're going to get a higher rate.
Right.
Yeah.
So you talking about inside the United States with those rates, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so my second question to you is, now and I heard you mention countries outside of the United States. Sound like Latin America was the most focus you had on. What's the difference between the fluctuation on the interest rate?
It is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. You see, Fannie Mae.
You doing a Fannie or a Freddie?
Only in America. Because remember,
okay, but if you go, they don't have. Do they have Fannie and Freddie in those other countries?
They do not. Thank you. They do not. And that's why it's harder to get a mortgage in those countries, because the government is not participating in making mortgage money available like they do in America.
So what if it's not a house, but it's a business property?
You're saying okay, now my camera. All right, you're saying it's not a house, but it's a business loan?
Yeah, if it's a business property, are the rates still the same, or they higher or lower?
That's a great question. In America, we have the SBA, Small Business Association, which is created by the government, right? Which a lot of countries don't have. Their governments didn't create those types of agencies.
Okay, so then we're looking at, if you try to open a barber shop or herb store. Now, when I say herb, I'm not talking about weed. I'm just saying flowers or whatever the case may be, or a hair salon or a sneaker store or something like that. It's just dollar for dollar. It's pesos versus dollars, even on the board.
Wait, what do you mean? Like you're opening let's go with the barbershop, right? You're opening the barbershop here in the United States, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And what was the question?
The question is, you said that they don't have the Fannie and the Freddie over there, right?
Well, for the business, it's the SBA, Small Business Association.
So they have SBA in those countries?
They do not. That's why.
So then it's okay. So that leads me back to what I just said. It's dollar for dollar. It's peso or euro or whatever you're doing versus the American dollar.
I got what you're saying. Yeah, I can understand that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was trying to ask. I know it sounds convoluted, but yeah.
Yeah, you got to have money when you're overseas. Now, in Europe, I don't know, but in a lot of countries.
But okay, so let me ask you this: if you had I don't want to say hood because that's a stigmatism word, but if you had a New York barber shop in Brazil, don't you think that could turn lucrative for you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, it's all about how you market your business.
Yeah, marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all about marketing right there, getting those customers to come in and do business with you.
All right, thank you for enlightening me, my bro. Yo, 10, I holla at you, bro.
Anytime,
All right,
anytime.
brother.
All right.
Definitely. So I had another question. I don't know what the hell is a
Yes.
FHA worth pursuing?
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
it helps people who have what I call cash poor, right? So we've been able to help people come in with, you know, $20,000 and buy a house. You know, and the seller can participate paying the closing costs. So the seller can pick up a lot of your costs. And there's even some grant programs that you can get so that you don't even have to come up with all of the down payment. In fact, with the FHA loan, the whole down payment could be a gift. So if you had a family, so let's say you're getting married and all your money came from gifts from the wedding, you could use all of that money if somebody wanted to be generous and help you out, your parents or whatever, you know.
I remember you were speaking about purchasing a home, and if you use your parents or somebody.
Yes, that's another thing, right? Yeah. So when you're buying, yeah, I think there's some timer on my camera, it keeps clicking off. But when you're buying a house, you can actually use co-signers. So your parents can co-sign. You know, sometimes you have grandma, she makes a pension and her Social Security. We could use that income toward proving that you can afford to buy the house. We could use child support payments. We could use, so if you have income coming from child support, even foster care, if you have foster care children that you take care of, we could use that income towards showing that you can afford to buy the house. So because of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA, they are government-controlled agencies. Congress makes the laws that dictates what they do. So Congress decided that we cannot lend money unless we can prove that you can afford to buy the house or afford to make the payments. So I don't want to make a math class, but they'll allow you to spend up to 45% of your gross income. So if you're making $10,000 a year, $10,000 a month income, then you can spend up to $4,500 a month. So a lot of people are like, hey, I don't make $10,000 a month. You might make $5,000. That means you'll need another person who makes $5,000. Together you make $10,000. You can spend $4,500 a month. If you're making $3,000 a month,
so $4,500 a month. What's that going towards, your mortgage?
Yeah, that's what people are paying these days with the interest rates and everything. Depending on the price of the house. Okay. So that would be like a $600,000 one family house in the Bronx, let's say, between 5 and 6. It would cost you about $5,000 a month, about $4,500 a month, approximately. There's a range because, you know, every house is priced differently. There's different taxes, but just giving you a general range.
All right. A brother got a question. Could you see the comment section or you can't?
I cannot. No, I shut it down.
All right. Well, the brother got a question. He said, if I can read it right, he said, can you explain balloon payments or such terms included in a home loan?
The what payments?
Balloon payments.
Oh, balloon payments. Yes. Okay, so balloon payments are not popular right now, but the logic is this. You take a loan and you agree to the lender that if they lend you this money for 30 years, that you're going to pay the whole thing back in 10 years.
Oh,
that's a balloon payment.
Oh, okay.
Don't recommend it. You know, that's usually for investors or business people, somebody who absolutely is not going to keep that house past 10 years. He knows he's going to sell it in 6 years, so he doesn't mind the balloon payment. So the lender might give him a lower monthly payment as long as he delivers the lender back all the money in 10 years.
So how about flipping homes? You know about flipping homes?
Oh, yeah. All about it. Yeah, I help a lot of people who want to flip homes too.
Okay.
So we provide the mortgages for them. Once again, we're a registered mortgage broker, licensed through New York State Banking Department and New Jersey and also Connecticut. And all loans are arranged through third-party lenders. So when you come to our company, which is Arlington Financial, What we do is we have about 100 lenders that we sift through to get you the best rates, the best terms. And like you said, we have home loans for flippers, people who want to flip houses. Those are called hard money loans. So you can get that kind of loan. Let's say you know somebody who's selling their house, they want to sell it for $100,000, and you know you could buy it and resell it for $400,000. You want to flip that house, so you're going to need some money, and so we provide those loans through our third-party lenders.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if I came to you and I tell you, Mark, I got $50,000.
Oh yes.
I want to get me a home. What you could do for me? My credit score is 600.
Mm-hmm.
What you could do for me?
Yeah, we would get you a loan. FHA would rule the day. Yeah, we get you a nice loan. You'd put down, let's say you're buying a $500,000 house. So what's that? $21,000. Here's my phone. So 500,000 times 3.5%. That's how you determine what your down payment is, right? So I got my phone here, right? So 500,000 times 3.5%. $17,500 is the minimum down payment. And not only that, but we have some special loans where you can actually get money as a grant towards part of that 17.5, right? So this, aside from that, there are what they call closing costs. So the lender is saying to you, we will lend you the money if we feel it's a good deal. But in order to determine whether it's a good deal, we have to do some investigating. We want to get an appraiser to go to the house to tell us that it's worth what you're buying it for. We want to hire a company to ensure that this guy you're buying the house from actually owns the house and that nobody's going to come along like his ex-wife, side chicks, all kind of, IRS, state tax department. We don't want any claims against that house once you take title to it. So they're going to require a title report. You have to hire an attorney. The bank has to hire an attorney. So they want you to pay for everything. They want you to pay for the title search, which could be about $5,000. They want you to pay for the appraisal, which could be about $500-$600. They want you to pay for the survey to measure the land that the house is on to make sure that you're buying what you're getting what you're paying for. So the bank kind of protects you by forcing you to pay for all of these services that ensure that you're getting the house free and clear. So those are called closing costs, but you got to pay it in order for the bank. Now, sometimes you pay the closing costs and you find out some things about the property that aren't good, right? Like the seller might have some violations with New York City where the city's suing him and he has to pay off these violations. If he can't pay those off, then he can't transfer the property to you.
So how about if I purchase the home and there's something wrong in the home, like plumbing and all kind of shit is fucked up?
Okay, so that's a great question. So prior to you actually purchasing the home, one of the closing costs that you're going to pay is called a home inspection. That costs about $500-$600. And so that guy will come to the house, spend 3-4 hours with you, and he's going to go through the house with a fine-tooth comb with you and point out everything he sees with the plumbing, the electrical, the different wiring, even the sheetrock, make sure there's no termite issues. You're going to have a termite inspector come out, make sure they're not eating the house apart. And over the years, I've seen all of these things, houses with all of these things wrong. Some houses I've seen, I was like, wow, I would buy this house in a heartbeat. And the inspector said, no way. The best thing you could do at this house is knock it down. Like, bang. I was like, oh my God. Who knew? But that's what the inspector's job is, to tell you before you buy the house.
Mr. Giles.
Yes.
I have one more question for you.
Yes,
if you know how like in Vegas where the Indians own the land and you could put a house on it, but they still have the rights to the property, the ground that the house is on?
Yes.
Okay. The question that I have for you, does that work like that overseas too? Like, well, not overseas, the Caribbean or Latin America.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't want to speak too much for overseas because I don't do a lot of transactions over there, but I've seen countries where you can buy, you kind of like rent the land for like 99 years.
Right.
Actually title to it. Now, in America, one of the challenges is that we have to pay property tax. I'm
Yeah.
going to make a video about that. That's some video I'm working on right now for my YouTube channel, which you guys can subscribe to whenever you feel like it too.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna let you put all that out there.
All right, cool. So yeah, the challenge with the property tax is it keeps going up. Doesn't seem to keep going down for some reason. And every year I'm noticing that these taxes go up. So in your monthly payment, this is a kind of a myth because a lot of people will tell you buy a house because your payment never goes up, right? Yes, it's true that the mortgage, if you get a 30-year fix, that the mortgage, the principal and interest won't go up. But what we've been witnessing a lot lately is the taxes on these houses are going up and the insurance prices are going up. So people are experiencing, getting a bill higher than it was last year. And it can be frustrating. So I say that because your question was about buying the house on land that you don't own, right? So technically speaking,
Correct.
you can't pay your taxes even if you paid the house off. They'll take that land.
Okay, but
Mhm.
but if you have the lease, the lease is just for your crib. It ain't for the property that the crib is on. If I understand you correctly, correct? Like that 99 thing that the Indians do in Vegas.
Yeah, that's kind of like a land lease because at the end of that 99 years, like I noticed over in Hong Kong, China, I think it was England was ruling Hong Kong for they had a 99-year lease, and when that ended, it went right back to the Chinese. That was a big to do.
Okay, now my last question is this: if you between 30 and 50, and when someone passes away or get too old, dementia or something, and you put it in your kid's name, and then your grandkid's name, and then their kid's name, that can that still hold with the 99-year lease?
Oh yeah, but just remember the taxes on the property must always
Yeah,
be.
yeah. The taxes gonna be paid. Yeah.
So I wanted to say something about that the whole concept of dying and leaving property, that's a big to-do. I work with a lot of, so I also represent sellers who have homes that they want to sell, and I'll represent the seller in the sale of that home as a real estate agent. So oftentimes I've been working with what they call estates. So after somebody died, they leave an estate. That is a very difficult situation that people are faced with when somebody dies. So what you would want to do, I'm trying to make a long, story short, but what you would want to do is put the property in a trust. I'm talking about the scenario you just gave me, how the man dies, leaves it to the son, that son dies, leaves it to his son, right? If the house is put in a trust, then you can easily leave that property to the next person. But when a person dies in America, whether they have a will or not, everything goes to the state to decide what's going to happen with that property.
Yeah, probate. Yeah, probate.
Yes. And if the family members and the heirs don't have their act together, I've seen situations where these houses have hung in limbo with the state for like 20 years and still in the state because the state kind of rules everything,
It's called the state, but it's actually the government.
It's the government, but this form of the government is the state. State of New York is worse than any federal government you can ever come across. I shouldn't say worse, but they're very aggressive when it comes to getting money. My mother used to work for the state tax department, and they are very aggressive. The IRS will wait. But the state, New York State, they won't. They want their money.
Yeah, because it's a shame when someone owns a house and the house is already paid for, and they give it to somebody beneath them. When I say beneath them, I'm talking about like their children, their grandchildren, and they lose the house because of their taxes. I seen that happen around where the Barclays Center at, all those beautiful brownstones in Brooklyn over
Yes,
there.
sir.
I seen that happen. I ain't gonna say too much, but I seen that happen.
Yes. Absolutely.
You
And
can
so,
have a house worth $5 or $6 million and lose it because you can't pay the property tax.
That's absolutely correct. I know a gentleman right now, his mom passed, left the house to him because there's property tax on the house. The state will not allow it to transfer to him until those property taxes are paid. But her estate doesn't have enough cash to pay off the property taxes. So this house remains in limbo. And that can last for years until the state steps in and takes the house.
Okay, can I ask you a personal question?
Please do, yes.
Do you think that's designed to wrestle away our houses from us in the hood, like Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, Eastern Parkway, with all them beautiful brownstones around? Do you think there's kind of like a design? If you don't want to answer it, you don't have to answer.
Well, it's like a conspiracy theory, and I'm going to say yes. I think it's designed that way. Well, you know what? Okay, I'll just put it like this, right? A lot of people talk about what do they call that? Systemic racism and all of that, right? It's like happening, but you can't tell that it's happening, and nobody knows that it's happening because until somebody examines it and shows the impact, the after effects of what has happened, then you can say, "Oh wow, I didn't realize that that was happening at that time." But by the time we figure out that that's what happened, it's too late.
I've seen people lose multi-million-dollar homes in that area down there by Atlantic Avenue with all them beautiful brownstones, Eastern Parkway, and stuff like that because of property. I'm talking about beautiful homes. And I think I salute you because 10 got you on here and you're educating people. It's up to us to absorb the information that you've given us and move forward.
I'm going to keep on coming, because as long as he'll have me back, I'll keep coming back.
Do you have a website or Instagram or anything like that?
I do. My Instagram is Funding Homes, FUNDINGHOMES. It's at Funding Homes, and that's everything. That's my YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and I think Facebook too. And my website, my name, marcgiles.com, MARCGILES.com.
All right. Thank you. Yo, Ted.
Yo.
The teeth come out at night, boy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
All
right. Karis Noflin, show your face. And then I'll pull you up. I need to know who you are. No, you ain't know what's the name? Okay, you ain't pulling up. Mark. So is a foreclosure home good to purchase?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Okay, so the notion of the foreclosure has always been, oh, I can get a house real cheap, right? But today, these banks that are foreclosing on these homes, they're not giving them away cheap. They are looking to get top dollar. So the answer is yes, you can negotiate a good deal. But from my experience, you're going to pretty much get what you pay for, and pay for what you get. So you're going to get, it might seem like a good deal because you're buying it for $100,000 less, but you're going to turn around and put $100,000 worth of fixing into the house because these guys have mathematically got it all figured out. And they're really good now.
So when you say foreclosure, what does, hold on, somebody asked, can you speak on USDA loans?
Oh, yes. USDA is another one. Yes, sir. Okay, so the USDA, so remember, before we said you have Fannie Mae and Freddie Mack, they buy the loans. You also have USDA. They actually provide loans for us to make to our clients. So the USDA typically would lend to types of homes that have like over a couple acres. You'll find it a little further upstate, not in urban areas. It's mostly upstate where it's kind of like farmland, but sometimes you can get 2 acres. I've done a couple of those loans. And the beauty of the USDA is you don't have to put a down payment. So as long as the seller's happy with your buying the house and he doesn't care if you put a down payment, you don't have to put a down payment. In fact, you know what? Like you said, if you have $50,000, right? What you could do is you could still put $25,000. You say, hey, seller, I want to buy your house. I'm going to put $25,000 on the contract and I'll bring the rest to the closing. Now, if the USDA lends you all of the money, then you get your $25,000 back. It's a great loan product for those who can benefit from it.
Okay. So is it a difference like purchasing it in Westchester, New Jersey, or Karis? Show your face. Somebody
This is
wanted to
great.
come up. I want them to come up from the back, but where your face at? I don't see no face. I seen the ceiling. Where your face at, Karis? I want to make sure you ain't one of them dudes out there. All right, I'll just keep you on.
An
Go ahead,
AI
ask a
bot.
question. Ask a question. Go ahead, Karis.
Hey, hey, Tim and Mr. Giles, how y'all doing?
All
How you
right.
doing?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I hear
Hey,
you.
okay. I got a couple questions. Thanks, Tim. I'm looking a mess. I don't want to be on the camera, but anyway, um, is it true? I always heard that if you live in a house for like a year or 5 years and you turn on the utilities and say it's in the country or it could even be in the city, but it's an abandoned property, that you can claim ownership of it if you live in it for like a year and show that you
Yeah.
have bills coming to that house. Is that true?
There's truth to that. Yes, it's been true up till recently. That's called squatters' rights. And so
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people were doing is they would find a vacant house, break into it, falsify a lease, and then they would take that lease, go down to Con Ed, turn on the electricity, turn on the lights, and get the heat going, and just stay there. And then when the real owner comes, they, hey, I own this. No, he leased the house to me. I'm a tenant. Here's my lease. And the cops would just leave, and then he would have to spend either time to evict them. But if they stayed a longer period, enough time, if they stayed a long enough period of time in the house, according to the government rules, squatters' rights would say that's their house. Now, there's
After
been
how
a big
long?
move about that lately, so the government has redesigned a lot of those laws. So you have to go
Mm-hmm.
from municipality to municipality and find out who's allowing that still and who's not.
Okay, thank you. And then can you explain what homesteading is exactly?
Homesteading, that's like a Florida thing. Okay, so
I think
homesteading,
it's in Arizona too.
yeah, it's different. I'm not like crystal clear on that because that's not a New York thing, and I've been doing a lot of my business in New York. Now I know in Jersey, if you own a house and you're married, you're going to need your husband to sign off before you can, refinance that house. I
Uh-huh.
think you can sell it. You need. So that's I could do some research for you on that. I would love to come back and talk to you about that. Yeah.
Thank you. And one more question. Explain short sale.
That I know about a lot. So
Okay.
when a person buys a house, and okay, you buy the house 10 years ago for $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward, you think that the house is going to continue to go up in value, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, the market conditions turn sour, the house goes down in value. So you bought the house for $5,000, and let's say you borrowed $475,000, right? So you owe the bank
Mm-hmm.
$475,000, and
Mm-hmm.
the house is only worth $300,000. I'm exaggerating, but it could be that. So it was like that for a lot of people for a period of time. So
Right.
you need to move for reasons. You got a job in California, or you gotta go. There's no two ways about it. You're
Mm-hmm.
at it. So you put the
Right.
house for sale. Nobody wants to buy it and will offer you the $475,000 that you owe the bank. The best offer you could receive is $300,000. So you have to go to the bank that the money to, and you say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
bank, I'm out of here. I'm moving to California. This is a life situation and I got to go. I tried to sell a house to get you your money. Nobody wants to buy it. So I got this one guy here. He'll give you $300,000. If you take it, you're going to lose $175,000, Mr. Lender. And it's a lot of times people say yes. That's a short
Got
sale.
it. Okay. I understand. Thank you. Thank you, Tim and Mr. Giles. That's all. Thank you, guys.
Anytime.
All right, Queen. Take care, Queen. Yo, it's a question up there. Could you see the screen with the question?
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can see that screen.
Oh, if you can't see it, I'll just read it to you. If it's gonna mess up the sound.
Do you gain equity or can borrow against a trust? All right. That is being left to you, but not in your name yet. If it's not in your name.
New Jersey. He's speaking of New Jersey too.
New Jersey. Okay, so a trust is an entity that is created, and just like a corporation or LLC, and the trust can own a trust can own property. Basically, it's a set of papers that somebody put together, and the government recognizes it almost as like a human being, right? So this trust can own property, it can buy property, it can sell property, and we can actually lend you a mortgage in the name of the trust. So I don't know if that answers the question. Let me read it again. Do you gain equity or can borrow against the trust? You can borrow against the trust if the trust has money. And so I guess the trust would borrow the money because it has equity in a house. And yes, the answer is yes. Because if the trust owns the house and there's no mortgage on the house, and you say, hey, Mark, I want to borrow $300,000 against my house that's worth $1 million. Can my trust borrow $300,000? And the answer is yes. We'd be able to lend the trust the money. But you'd have to guarantee it and show that you can make the payments back.
Is this question true right here?
For every $100,000 you borrow is $700 or $800 per month. Yeah, that's about right today because of the interest rates. Right now, I use about $680. $680 is the number I use right now, like today. But tomorrow the rate could change a little bit and it could be $700. But $680, $68 for every 10,000, $680 for every 100,000 right now today.
Oh, okay. That should sound like a car. That's kind of like some car shit.
Yeah. You got to have a rule of thumb when you're talking to people. Otherwise, I'm sitting at the computer all day just pumping it up. I watch rates every day, all day. That's all I do.
Here go another question.
Watch the stock market. All right, got you. If the trust has assets, can the trust borrow money against the assets? Yeah, I would have to say yes. The asset in this scenario would be the house. And the house is like in that example, the house is worth $1 million. That's the asset. And the trust, and you saying, hey, my house is in a trust. I want to borrow $300. Can you do it? The answer is yes.
He says, thank you. Here go another one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mark, do banks still allow borrowers to buy down interest points, especially in cases of high interest loans due to low credit score? The answer is yes. You could buy down the rate, whether you have a high credit score or a low credit score. So buying down the rate, what that means is, and this is very important, a lot of folks don't understand the difference between principal and interest. It's something you might want to study, right? So I'll just give you a quick example. With interest, this is the concept. The reason you want to be a millionaire is to have $1 million in cash in your account is because you will receive interest from the bank. So today you could buy a certificate of deposit from the bank. You go down to Chase tomorrow and you say, hey, I would like to buy a certificate of deposit. I have $1 million. They will pay you 5%. So that means if you kept that certificate of deposit for 1 year, you will have received $50,000 in 1 year as a result of lending Chase that money. So that's about, calculator one more time, $50,000 divided by 12. $4,166 a month goes into your checking account only because you had that $1 million, right? So a lot of people live off of that money. They never touch the principal, which is the $1 million. They live off the interest. All right, so now that we clarified the interest thing is, so when a bank is lending you a mortgage at 7% interest rate, they're making interest on their money, right? So if they lent you the $1 million at 7% interest, you're paying that bank $70,000 a year, pure interest that they're putting in their checking account. So your question Oh, so paying points up front is the bank coming to you and saying, hey, listen, we'll give you this 30-year loan at 7% interest. But if you're willing to give us 2% up front on this $1 million loan, that's $20,000, then we will lower your interest rate over the long lifetime of the loan. That's the concept of paying points. But yes, paying points is a thing today, and people are doing it.
We got another. I don't know what the hell just happened to him. We gotta wait till he come back. Hold on, let me put this in the chat. He gotta come back. I told you, don't be playing with me. I'll bring up sharp. Motherfucker Marc Giles is sharp. You think this is a game? I'm gonna get Mark to spit on one of y'all. Know that. He gonna spit on one of y'all because y'all thought 10 was gonna bring up some foolery. No. No. He's real. Yeah. Sharp. But the black brother up here, sharp. Now look how many people been in the chat. The highest I went to, I think 100 people in the chat. Now, if I was up here talking some ignorant, foolish, bozo, 050 dummies, they would have been up in here listening. But this brother's giving you, he dropping some shit. Where is he at? Mark, bring your ass back up in here. He done lost maybe all connection. I think the Wi-Fi done went. YouTube does. I'm pulling a conspiracy theory. YouTube done shut down my channel. They shut down my guest. My guest was killing the YouTube. Is playing with my viewers. Here you go. He's back.
I'm back.
All right. So we got a question up here, Mark.
How much does it cost to set up a trust? I know attorney. I got an attorney who set up a trust for you for $2,500. Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm going to shut off my YouTube.
Yeah, you got to shut that off again. Okay,
YouTube is off. StreamYard is on. Okay, so yeah, how much is a trust? The trust is, there's an attorney I know who'll do it for $2,500.
Okay.
And I always say that everybody should have 4 entities. One is a trust, a 401k, a nonprofit, which is a 501c3. And I said that the 401k I recommend would be a self-directed 401k. And then the regular corporation is the 4th item. And you don't have to do business in your own name if you do all that. I'm going to do a video on that too.
So how would that work?
What exactly? Like what?
But you ain't got to do business in your own name. So what would you do? I mean, your LLC, but how would you do that?
All right. So yeah, so the LLC. Now, certain things you got to be careful with, right? Because it's easy to say don't do business in your own name, but it's not practical a lot of times, right? So for example, people will tell you to go out and buy a car and put that in a corporate name, right? If you do that in New York City, you're going to be in some hot water because you got a commercial plate now, you know? And if you can see, well, in Manhattan during the day, you'd find plenty of parking, right? But you can't park that on a residential street at night. So there's a lot of rules that go along with these things. So these things are simple to say, and this advice that we give sounds so easy, but it gets real deep. It gets so deep that in order to succeed, you'd have to really change the way you see life and how you approach life. So what the mainstream people are doing, you can't do that anymore. So you have to learn how to run a corporation. You see, you need to learn how to run a 501c3 to adhere to all of these rules, like even having a commercial vehicle. You have to learn all of the rules. So it's not practical to just go do these things and figure it out later because it's going to cost you a lot. So what I recommend is knowledge. Go down to the library. I got this thing from the library called Hoopla. You can get it on your phone. This is it right here, Hoopla. the Greenberg Library. And so they can give you all the books and everything for you to read. And they even have audio books, and you can learn and read and hear it while you're driving your car. And you can just learn. All of this information is there. How to set up a 501c3, how to run a trust, audio books, you know. And like I said, I'm making videos for my YouTube channel. So all this will be there.
Give me that information on your YouTube channel. If you got phone number, anything for people to contact you.
Oh, yeah. Phone number is 917-721-5415. You call me, text me, call me. Love to chat with you, hear about your goals. You know, we could do a goal setting session to figure out where you want to be and start figuring out how you're going to get there in terms of your home ownership, whether you want to buy an apartment building. Another thing they're doing in New York City with these R7 properties. And the sad part about this thing is a lot of our grandparents, like the gentleman was saying early on, a lot of our grandparents live in these neighborhoods. These are our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles. They own homes. And New York City is rezoning these homes to be like what they call R7, meaning you can knock your house down, that one family house, and build 7 floors up. I'm working on that video right now too. Because right on 216th Street, right off White Plains Road, they are knocking down like one family houses and building apartment buildings with 22 units in them. And the neighborhood is changing fast. But this has been going on for like 5, 6, 7 years now. And now we're starting to see the buildings popping up all over the place. So these are the things that you can learn how to do. And you can pool your money together and learn how people do it, watch them do it, and then you can start doing it too. It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult.
What is the debt ratio?
The debt to income ratio is 45% on the front. Well, when we say front and back, right? Debt to income ratio is a way that the bank will determine how much you can afford to spend on your house every month. So if you, like we said earlier, if you're making $10,000 a month and you want to buy a house, and remember, it doesn't have to be one person making 10. It could be a husband making 10. Husband making 5, wife making 5. Together they make 10,000. You have 2 brothers and grandma, 5,000 for each for the 2 brothers per month. That's $60,000 a year per brother. Plus grandma's bringing in another 30 grand from her pension and Social Security. That is, I'm just going to round it off, $13,000 a month. Okay, so if you take that $13,000 a month from the 2 brothers and grandma, 13,000 times 45%, they can spend up $5,850 a month on their house. And that could be a 2-family house. It could be a 3-family house. It doesn't have to be a single family.
Oh, so I can make it a 3-family home.
What's that?
I can make it a 3-family home?
You can make it that, or you could just buy a 3-family. And we will use the income that is coming from the 2 rental apartments that you're going to rent and add that to your income. Right? So let's say, yeah, 2,000 per unit is coming in, and I'm being conservative. So instead of 13,000, you're adding 4,000 onto that. That's $17,000 a month income. So a lot of people don't move forward because they don't think that they're making enough. When in reality, we have to work together. I've been doing this over 20 years, and I'm telling you, majority of the people I work with work together, families, brothers, cousins, sisters. They band together and buy that house.
Okay, so if I'm buying a 3-family home,
mm-hmm.
and let's say it costs $500,000, the same rules apply no matter what, right? Does it still apply with the FHA too? I still could use an FHA for that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Especially FHA. FHA loves multi-family houses, 1 to 4 units.
Yeah. Okay. So then so that would lower my payments. I mean, that would up my chances of getting in, but it would lower my payments because I'm putting tenants in the home.
Yeah, exactly.
Even before I put them in the home, I can still get that.
That is correct.
Oh,
And you know what? Section 8 in New York City is paying really good rent right now. And you know, that's another thing. You buy the house, you got a friend of a friend or whatever who has Section 8 income, and you say, hey, I noticed you're going to be moving and you're going to need a new place. I'm buying this house over here. Pay me $3,500 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, hold on. I got another one. It's in there. You can read it, right?
If your mother and sister name is on the deed, your mother passes away, can you replace your mother's name with yours on the deed without the sister's consent? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I'm no lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but you would get a lawyer for that. Let me read this one more time. So your mother and your sister's name is on the deed. Fine. Mom passes away. Can you replace your mother? No. See, so what happens is, I mean, there's a little more intricacy to it, but I'm going to just give a general idea about this. And this is a lot of the problems that we see, especially in our community, because when somebody dies and 2 people are on that deed, the person who's left typically would inherit the house. I mean, there's other rules. I mean, it depends on whether the mother was married to a man and, you know, how they own the house together. They could own it. In one way you can own a house is that, like, you have mother and the daughter. They could say when mom dies, the daughter doesn't inherit her part. It goes to mom's heirs, right? So you would want to get a lawyer to read the deed. That's what you would want to do. Get a lawyer to look at the deed. Or if you show me the deed, I'd be able to tell you, you know, what's most likely the outcome is. And when people die, a lot of times, now if mom, let's say mom did die and her half had to go to her heirs, then once again, you got to go through the state, probate. And now when you go to probate, this is where people come out, right? You know, man was married at the time, but he had an ex-wife with a couple kids. He has a side chick who has a couple of his kids, and he's got all of this stuff going on. And when he dies, all of these people come out of the woodworks and start fighting. Even if he left a will, people can contest the will. And, you know, if it's not clear, it could just wind up sitting in court for years. So I always tell people, you know, that's the generational wealth that we need to be focused on, is getting our affairs in order. Yeah. Oh, we got another question here. Oh, that was the same question. All right. But yeah, generational wealth. This is how we build generational wealth. Another way to build generational wealth is through life insurance. I have a license in life insurance. I could talk to you about that and how you use the life insurance to leave money, large sums of money, to your family. You know, they call that, you know, having your own family bank and all of that good stuff. These things can be achieved. It doesn't take a lot, but what it does take, and I always stress that in terms of generational wealth, what's more important than leaving people things and money is education, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So that they can learn what they need to know, so that they can take care of these items. Because a lot of people will die, leave these items to the family or to their younger generation. And unfortunately, the young generation has no habit of managing a 6-unit building or a 3-unit or 5 apartment buildings. And basically they'll sell it all and go buy some sneakers. A couple sneakers, couple cars, and you know what I'm saying. See it all the time, you know. It's unfortunate, but knowledge is power.
Yeah.
That's why I'm willing to share, educate. We got to teach each other. You know, I'm an open book.
So what's your YouTube channel again?
Funding Homes.
Okay.
FUNDINGHOMES. And I'm going to start making more content about these items that I'm talking about. We'll go in depth. Up to now, I've been talking about New York, living in Westchester, buying a house here, showing homes that are for sale. Just showing lifestyles of how it's like to buy houses and live. But I'm going to start, and there's a lot of videos on loan programs, how to fix your credit, how to do a lot of these things, how to buy a house with a non-for-profit. I got a video about that. And but I'll start getting more deeper into the intricacies of these
You said
items.
you want to know how to buy a house with a non-for-profit, for-profit?
Yeah, how to acquire real estate with a non-for-profit. Yes.
Do you need to have money down, or does it work the same way like a FHA, or what?
Okay, so I've actually participated with churches who need loans to buy property, participated with churches who want to sell properties. And I learned a lot over the years working with these churches and other non-for-profits. And yes, non-for-profits can acquire property. And I've seen it happen because I actually was trying to buy a property once. And this guy actually turned around and gave this lady such a discount because she was a pastor at his church. Just blew my mind. But yeah, if you drive through the Bronx, like Gun Hill Road, for example, I used to have an office on the corner of Paulding Avenue and Gun Hill Road, and there were 7 churches within a 3-block radius. And they're still there. Well, actually, one of them they knocked down, but most of the churches are still there. And my point is that these entities own a lot of these properties. So, yes.
Somebody got a question here.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
I can see it. First Class Empire. Are you a broker? Mortgage broker. And okay, I'm a mortgage loan originator, and I work for a mortgage brokerage, which is Arlington Financial. I started in the business as a mortgage broker. I got a license and I had my own mortgage company for 11 years in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Florida. And, and after that, when the market crashed in 2008, I decided to, I thought it was over, the whole mortgage broker thing, because they blamed everything on brokers. So I went to work for Wells Fargo at that time, and I managed their, I was a branch manager for Wells Fargo in their mortgage division. My area was the entire Bronx and Lower Westchester. And so I did that for 4 years. So my knowledge of mortgages is like really high. And I still do. I still write mortgages. If you want to buy a house, I will provide a mortgage for you through Arlington Financial, which is a mortgage broker where all loans are arranged through third-party lenders. And my NMLS ID number is 97969. You have to say that. It's a regulatory thing. And I'm also a real estate agent. I'm a licensed real estate agent in New York and Connecticut. So we help sellers sell homes. I have a few homes that I'm selling for quite a few sellers right now. Tomorrow I'm going to take some pictures of a house up in Stratford. If you want to buy a house in Stratford, it's coming on the market this week. And I say that because there's a shortage of houses out here. So finding a house today is a challenge.
So in your field of expertise,
yes, sir,
is that a good field to get into to make some good money?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm glad you asked that. If you're looking for a career in real estate, I'm building my team right now. So yes, this is a place you can make some good money, but you got to be focused. You got to be organized. You got to be disciplined. And what you're going to find is that when you're doing real estate mortgages, you're not dealing much with properties. You're dealing with people. So when I say people who need money, all right, whether they want to sell a house because they want money. If they want to buy a house, they need money to buy the house. And so that's constant. It's a constant. And so for most people, that becomes a problem. And we are problem solvers. So we are here to help these folks get their money and treat them really well and make sure that their goal is accomplished.
So I want to get a business. I want to open up a business in Massachusetts. Do you deal with? Can you go up that far?
What kind of business?
Well, I wanted to open up a restaurant.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let me just say this: for the real estate, as a real estate agent, I can help people throughout the United States, anywhere, any state, because I have a team that I work with. So the company is called EXP Realty, and we have, I'm just going to say factual data here, right? So we have a database of agents, and one of our databases is filled with agents all over the United States. So recently I referred a client of mine to one of my team members down in Mississippi, and he was able to buy a house down there. So we made that happen.
Okay. How about loans? Somebody said it's not a question, but they made a statement. Restaurant is the hardest business to get a loan for.
It is. It's a very difficult business to get a loan for. I usually, when you're in these types of industries, the people who would lend you the money are the people who are already in that business because they understand it. And I found that that's initially, I mean, if you're starting a restaurant and you need money, I think that's the best place to go. You find somebody who understands your business and believes in your dream. Might be your family members.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm going to say right now? Check this out, right? I'm in the world of finance. I've been in finance since forever, right? Whenever you're opening a business, I think that the biggest mistake people don't realize, especially today, is you're not really in the business that you're in. You're in the finance business. Because the day you open those doors, or the day you start to think of this thing that you want to do, this business you want to open, you're needing money. And because you need money, you are going to go to people and offer them the opportunity to make money from you, because you're going to work to pay them back interest. What you'd be better off doing is learning how to structure your own financing. A lot of people don't know how to do that. And so what they do is they go out to banks and lenders and say, can you structure financing for me so I can get some money? And that's terrible, because people are saying, yeah, give me 12%. And, you know, especially in business, they are sharks. But if you can learn to structure your own financing tools, then you can go to family, friends, strangers and say, hey, listen, this is a deal I crafted. And for you right now, the bank is paying 5%. I'll pay you 7%. Whereas if you went to your credit card, you're paying 29%. Make sense?
We got a brother in the chat, First Class Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Mark, we can work together.
Absolutely.
So if you need this information, First Class Empire, he said he'd been in the business for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So you could give him your information again for him if you don't have it.
917-721-5415. You can text me. Call me tomorrow.
Hold on. Say it again so I can put it in the chat. What is it, Mark?
Oh, good. 917-721-5415. Yeah, and then the handle is at Funding Homes, FUNDINGHOMES. We're funding homes, and giving people money to buy homes, lending people money to buy homes. Yes.
At Funding Homes, what?
That's it. At Funding Homes. That's the handle for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. So that's the
Yeah, so if you go to Google and you type in at Funding Homes, all that stuff pops up.
All right, so
type Marc Giles. Huh?
No, I'm just telling them. I put it in the chat. If anybody need his phone number,
yes,
if you need his contact information, it's in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. I could tell you about how to do business loans. I've lent business loans, hard money loans, renovation loans. So you're buying a house, you want a fixer-upper, buy a fixer-upper, fix it up. We do that. Buy a piece of land and build a house on it.
Is that cheaper or is that more? Would that be?
I'll be honest with you. There's nothing cheaper. You're going to get what you paid for. But you get something nice and brand new, and you'll get it the way you want it to be. See, that's the beauty of it.
So you can use the FHA for that as well? With the
FHA
land?
for
Right, the land?
renovation loan.
Huh?
What's that? You get FHA is for the renovation loan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the renovation loan, you want to buy this beat up house and fix it up. We'll lend you the money to buy it and repair it. We'll provide the loan through our third party lenders, to acquire the property and do all of the repairs, and you can move in it. And the house will be exactly. One lady, I worked with her. She bought a house in Queens. It was a 1-family house. She took the roof off it and turned it into a 2-family, 2-story house.
He said, probably said, I work with Meadowbrook Financial Mortgage Bankers Corp. You know that?
No.
That one? Okay. He said, somebody said what they said, update your profile picture.
That's
Doc.
On what platform?
He just followed you on X.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Oh, on X. That's one I didn't update yet. I haven't been doing much with X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay, so yeah, man, that covers it. If anybody got any more questions, Mark is here to answer it. Y'all gonna be looking out for Mark on other platforms. I'm gonna make sure I get him on some more platforms instead of dealing with buffoonery and people just talking about all the dumbness and the prison and all that other shit. I'm gonna get him on some more other platforms where he can speak about this.
Yes, sir. Generational wealth, all of that. We're going to do it together. We're going to grow together. We need each other. That's one thing I realized a long time ago. I need you to win, man. I need you to succeed. I need you to come up because you're going to come to me and say, hey, Mark, I'm ready to buy this house.
Yeah.
I need you to win. And the second house and the third house and the investment property, and the skyscraper. It's all there for you to buy. Everything is for sale. Why not? It's for you.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. Well,
anything I can do to help you succeed, I'm here. Yeah.
Just one more time, Mark. Give me your information, and we out of here.
All right. 917-721-5415.
No. Talk about your YouTube and all that. Give me your YouTube.
YouTube is at Funding Homes. That's the handle, the @ and then Funding Homes. And then you can also look up Marc Giles, Westchester Living. Yeah, and it's all there. That's the YouTube. And then if you type @ Funding Homes in Google, all of my handles will pop up in all of the different social medias. I'm posting every day, making videos every day. Every week, we're making the long form video on YouTube, chop it up into shorts, and we pass them around to the different platforms. And this one coming up. I have
a question for you too, Mark.
Yes.
In Philly, they got a lot of ran down homes over there.
Oh, yes.
I got a friend of mine said that he was paying as low as $25,000 to $30,000 for a home, but he had to fix it, and he was fixing it up. Yeah. Would that be a good investment?
I think so. A lot of these investments are long term. I do work with a lot of people. I'm going to give you a couple of places. People might hate me for saying this, but like Utica, New York, upstate New York, there's a few places where you can get properties real cheap. I've had people who bought like up to 70 properties because they just buy them like, collector's items. They just keep buying. And at that price point, you can make some mistakes and it's not going to kill you. But if you buy, 2 properties in the Bronx, $600,000 each, that could be very challenging. So, you could lose a lot. You lose $600,000. But Philly, Baltimore, Ohio is hot right now because the United States is trying to bring manufacturing back. And so they're building these plants upstate New York, in Ohio, Arizona, these chip manufacturing plants. And so in these areas where these plants are being built, the prices of homes are starting to rise because these people are going to bring in tens of thousands of employees. And a lot of these guys are going to do well. They're going to spend a lot of money. So these are the places that need renovating. Houses need repair because our housing stock in America is really, really old and falling apart. And this is where these 203K renovation loans come in. All right. And we can, like I said, you can buy a piece of land and build the house. Buy a piece of raw land, build a house with one loan. I'm doing a seminar on that tomorrow at 5 o'clock on, wow. It's going to be right on online. We're going to do a Zoom call. So yeah, if you send me a text at 917-721-5415, I'll send you the link so you can sign up for that as well. All right, how to buy a raw land and build a house on that land. Yeah, with one loan. But yeah, world of information, and I'm just bringing it out every day. So that's it, I guess, right?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. We're gonna have you back again. And when you come back, we're gonna have some people. I need you to bring somebody that you worked with before who you helped purchase a home, if you can.
Yes, without a doubt.
A living testimony of the work you did, and
I got a few people. Mr. Paris. I'll introduce you to him. Yeah, he's a good dude, good brother, and he'll share because he's bought numerous houses over the years. Work with this guy, man. He just.
All right, so let me ask you something. Let's say because I want to say this for the people that's on here on the YouTube, right?
Yes.
Let's say if I came together with some brothers on YouTube.
Yes.
Let's say 10 of us got together.
Yes.
We're all gonna put down $5,000.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
What would be the best idea? What would be the best advice you would give? Like, we're gonna come to you, Mark. We all putting up 5.
Okay. First thing I would say.
My issue is I wanted it in my name, and he wanted it in his name. And how we gonna do this?
Exactly. So first thing I would say to you is we're going to form a corporation.
Okay.
Right. We're going to get a big ass table with 10 seats around it. Right. And we're all going to sit at that table and we're going to have our meeting. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to take minutes and everybody's going to take votes on what we're going to do. And we're going to run it like a corporation, just like they run Amazon, and we're going to invest our money because we are investors and we're going to add our 2 cents into this project because all of us have wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence, and we can all work together. So, for example, this is what puzzles me. A lot of folks will go and buy an apartment in a co-op building, right? That's all that is a bunch of owners who chipped in to buy a building, and they all live in the building together. It's a co-op apartment building. That's all it is. And because they have this corporation and they run it appropriately, that's how you can reduce the amount of me, right? And make it more we. Let's take a vote. Let's vote. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. And the vote stands. We're going to go ahead and do X, Y, Z. It's very simple. And when you get 10 men who can, or women and men, right? And people, right? Who can sit at that round table and agree to work together like that, you can't lose. You can't lose. And people can sell their shares. If I don't like you guys anymore, I take my $5,000. I want to sell it to somebody else. And somebody else will buy into it because it's a well-run organization.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
That's how we do it.
That's what I've been trying to do.
I'm going to take you. We're going to do it. No more trying. We're going to do it.
Because when it comes to this, right, everybody knows somebody when it comes to connections. Now, look, I just brought you on the platform.
Yes,
you're a brother that deal with mortgages, real estate, and whatever it is. Then I got another brother that deals, he has a car dealership. He owns a dealership when it comes to the vehicles and all this other shit. Then I got another brother, I got the nonprofit organization. And then we got somebody else that has the, and then if we put it all together,
come on, You can't lose.
Can't lose, man. Damn it.
Yes.
God damn it.
Let's do it, man. I'm on board. 100%.
I only got 30,000. I'm down on my last. I want to invest 10. And you got 15. You can invest 8 of your 15.
That's right.
And you can get your percentages out of the company. You don't have to invest as much as I did.
That's right.
That's what I tell people. You want to invest how much? Okay, well, this is going to be the cap on the lowest that we taken, 5,000 or better.
Right.
You can invest $5,000. I invested 30. He invested, and then we're going to add up. Then we're going to get Mark, and Mark is going to make sure that we get with the percentages of this corporation of who owns the most of the corporation and where balance is out at.
Yes, sir. Everything in writing. Everything in writing. Way that everybody can read and understand and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do. It's actually very easy to do. The corporation is a tool. It's like the what I call it's a tool of choice of champions to use in running a business. And it's been that way for hundreds of years. And there's a reason why people form these corporations. The problem with a lot of folks who set up these corporations is they don't run it like a corporation. That's the biggest problem, because they go to some attorney files some papers, hands them a fistful of papers. They take those papers, throw them on the shelf, never look at them, and then they say, oh, I have a corporation. But you're not running it like a corporation. And unfortunately, I had done a mortgage for this guy years ago. He owned 10 apartment buildings in the Bronx. And some lady broke her ankle on one of his houses. And each house was in a corporation. But he wasn't running the corporations like corporations. In other words, there was no paperwork that reflected that he had meetings, that meetings had minutes, that they were organized, and that they weren't running it like a corporation. So that particular house that was in a corporation, they tried to say, oh, you can't sue him for the other 9 houses because this house is in a corporation. But the person who was suing him was able to break his corporate veil. In other words, the judge who the lady who was suing him went to the judge and said, hey, this guy's not running no corporation. All of these houses are in his name. And the judge agreed. And he wiped out all of those corporations like they didn't even exist and filed a judgment against this dude for $1 million. And I had to go out and get him a loan for $1 million to pay this lady off. And let me tell you why, because this New York, and I told you about New York State. As soon as they got a judgment, the marshal came out, went to every tenant in every one of his apartment buildings and told the tenants, he's no longer your landlord. We are, and you're going to pay us the rent until we get the $1 million to pay this lady off. That's the marshal acting in behalf of the state. You don't want to mess with the state and state of New York. You want to have your paperwork in order. That's why you want to run the corporation like a corporation. That's it. Yeah, because when you run it like a corporation, you are powerful. You got a lot of power.
That's a fact. Well, Mark, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming up, man. You gave up a lot. You gave up more than I expected. The other night when we did the other thing the other night, you just said you was limited to what you could say. And me and Mark, what I was telling you about the other night when I went and did this function the other night, Mark was part of the panel and these other 2 sisters. But Mark got a lot of information. I believed in Mark. I knew he had it, and he answered every question. And he's official. You official. Like, what the fuck? You official. And I'm going to be using Mark. Y'all think I'm bullshit. I'm going to be using Mark. I'm going to give him some of my EBT check. I'm going to give him some EBT money. Do they take EBT? They don't take EBT. They don't take welfare. Okay.
I'm going to look into that.
All right, Mark. Okay.
That's a good question.
But definitely, man. Yo, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Same here. Absolutely.
Make sure you go over. They're going to subscribe to his channel.
Yes, please.
He got a lot of information, even more than what he gave tonight. This is a never-ending conversation to have right here, and it's about money. And he giving you the game for free. Look at this shit. He's sitting up here giving you the game for free, where he had to pay. He went to school for this, man. He had to pay for it. Now he giving it to you for free.
Years and years of reading and learning.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mark, appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
All right. Same here. Thank you. I look forward. I'm going to bring, like you said, some witnesses.
Yeah.
Testify. All right.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care. Yeah, man. There you have it. 10 toes down. Once again, there you have it. This is free game. This is free game. And it's not a game, but it's a game to be in, to win. And we can win at this right here. Look at this right here. Look how easy it is. Look how he gave that information up. And you know what the first thing these stupid non-believers out here gonna think? They're gonna look at first his color, he's a black man. Then they're gonna think it's a scam or some scheme or some shit going on. But if I had that blonde little motherfucker that zip with the drip was in the picture with, y'all would have been up here listening and looking with the white man with the little bang. Y'all would have been up in here with the shaboing boing. But I bring a black man up in here. Look how many people was in the chat. Every time I bring up somebody that's here to give up information nobody wanted, that shows you that the people that listen and paying attention, they listening to some dumb shit opposed to the real shit that's going on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put up a thing and say, yo, man, this dude right here, he got a house that's in Yonkers and he's giving it away. The first 10 people that come up on here, and if you win, you're gonna have 1,000 people in the chat. What's going on, Jimmy 2 times? Yeah, man, I just shut the whole internet down. I just had a brother up here that gave up game. He gave up all the information on how to live, how to grow, how to become successful, how to flip homes, how to get a home, percentage rates, and all that other stuff. Man, you know what, man? Stop that goddamn white man prison.